Welcome back, everybody. My name is Tim, and this is another Real Ideal Gear review. Today we're out in western Montana in the forests, I should say up in the forests of western Montana. And I'm out with my day pack and my dog, and we're just enjoying some semi-cool sun and clouds here. But today we're looking at straps. We're going to be looking at specifically 4 straps that were sent to me by Artem. They're out of Australia. And these straps I have been looking forward to doing a review on since they showed me them, informed me of. I didn't know they existed as a company, and so I've been chomping at the bit to do this review. And I came across an idea that I think would be very apropos for a NATO style strap. One of the 4 is a NATO style strap, and it has to do with camping. And when I look at the quality and the materials that are used to make their straps, I know that this strap is going to hold up to this alternate use. So we'll go back to the indoors for the actual review of all the different components, the materials, and things like that for the strap. But I wanted to show you this one thing when it comes down to an alternative use, that this strap and Artem straps in particular, I think, are going to be very useful in deploying. So when you take a day pack, a lot of day packs these days have what's called MOLLE system. And a MOLLE system are these horizontal nylon straps that have slots or holes in them, and then they're stitched. Now this one's got my canteen on it. This is what I use to carry, a day's worth of water. Sometimes it's not quite a day's worth, but we just stretch it out anyway. But you have the strap on the inside that's on the component here that weaves back and forth into what is on the backpack. And so one strap goes in between here, and you'll notice that you have matching straps right here on the canteen, right, or the water bottle. So these match up. They're alternating. They're a specific width apart. Sometimes though, this vertical strap, the one that goes in between both and puts them both together, can break, and sometimes you have a snap that breaks. So I took the liberty of seeing if this would work, and here's another one. This is another component. This is like a cell phone pouch with a zipper top on it, and you can put all kinds of stuff in here. When I leave the car, I put the keys in there, cell phone in here, and a few other small things go inside your batteries as well. But you'll notice that this strap, if needed in a pinch, you can take your NATO strap and use it as a MOLLE strap, the vertical strap that ties things together. Okay, is it the best way to do this? No. Would it work in a pinch? Absolutely. And the quality of this nylon strap will definitely hold any type of material or component that's like this. I wouldn't put some serious weight on it, but it can definitely hold something like a canteen, something like this, a utility pouch. No problem whatsoever. It is not a permanent fix. It's a temporary fix, but I am thoroughly impressed, and the quality of nylon that's put into this strap is definitely going to be one that can be used in a pinch for those kind of things. So we'll head back inside and do the rest of the review. I've got some other photos of and videos of just what these straps look like. The sailcloth, I've never had a sailcloth strap before. I love them. They're stiff to start with, but man, once they loosen up, they're pretty dang comfortable. So I like what I've seen so far, and as we go through this and we get to the end, I'll give you my recommend or not recommend, as I usually do with anything that I review as far as outdoor gear, ideal gear reviews. So anyway, we'll head back inside and we'll see you in a bit. Artem Straps is a company, again, that I did not know existed until they had emailed me and said, hey, take a look at our straps and would you mind doing a review for them? So of course I said yes, and again, that is basically all the input they had, was just requesting that I go ahead and do a review. So taking a look at these straps, and again, for the first time, I have never used sailcloth straps before. I've heard of them, and there's kind of an enigma around what the actual materials are for a sailcloth strap. And so I did a little research, and sure enough, there can be a variety of things that go into a sailcloth, period. And so looking at the Artem website, what do they use to make their straps? Well, that's a proprietary combination of materials. So what I know from what I've seen and what I've handled out of these straps is that they are high quality. The stitching is high quality, and just the design of them, I think, really does a great job of just displaying what a sailcloth strap should look like. So this is a cloth looking strap, nylon, cotton, whatever material you think it might be made out of. And again, I don't know exactly what the material is for this, but it's been waterproofed, and it is a very attractive strap. Looking at their website, you do need to be careful as far as which straps have which width measurements for them. So there are some straps that will go from 19 to 23 millimeters, some go from 20 to 22 millimeters, or 19 to 22. So there's a variety of different sizes of straps on their website. So be very aware of that as far as their availability goes. They also have the big version, the PAM version, which is only 24 millimeter, and those are they look great. All of them look great. The 3 sailcloth straps that I have are, one is the butterfly version deployant clasp. The other is a loopless deployant clasp, and the third one is the classic pin and buckle setup. And what I noticed when I first put them on, and you'll see just various video of wrist shots and things like that as I'm talking here. What I noticed when I put them on was that the butterfly and the classic strap were very stiff. I mean, to the point where it was not real comfortable wearing them. And I was like, oh man. So I took a closer look, and I'll show you some side views of these straps. And these two in particular are pretty thick on the top half closest to the case. Pretty thick as far as the straps go. And again, my experience with the sailcloth straps before this point was zero. I hadn't had any. I was curious about them, but I just wasn't really, pushed in that direction. So I was thinking to myself, well, so if this is the design of the sailcloth strap, I'm not so sure about this, because the top half is very rigid or very stiff. The bottom half is extremely flexible. I love the flexibility of this. And of course, there's a sealant, or there's a, I don't know if it's a sealant, but it's a rubber backing that goes on the back of these straps that's also stitched in. The stitches on here are great. So the looks, the quality, the experience was questionable as far as the beginning experience goes. And so I put them all on these watches, and I tried them all out, and I wore the loopless strap on my Baltony. And that's the one that doesn't have quite as thick of a profile close to the case as the other two sailcloth straps. And so I found that one to be very comfortable. It was very easy to put on. It wrapped around the wrist really nice, things like that. The other two, when I put them on, it was just like stiff, I don't know, a plastic almost, pushing on the ulna and the radius bone on my wrist. And so long story short, I thought, all right, I got to give these guys a fair shot, because it cannot be that this is the way it is. So I took the classic strap, the pin and buckle strap that's on the Wise Adamascus, which, by the way, is stunning. I love the combination, the white stitches, the black sailcloth texture, the polish, satin finish on the stainless steel buckle. Anyway, it really looks nice. And so I took that strap and I just started working it over, and really, bending it and manipulating it so that it would get some artificial use in, and some really, I was bending it pretty hard, because I wanted to really kind of break it in. And wouldn't you know it, these straps broke in nicely. And I went from cautious to almost high skepticism to, I really, really like these straps. I really like the texture of them. I like the fact that they're waterproof. They have a cloth look to them. They're sturdy. They're well built. The buckle on them is great. The deployant clasps are great. The whole thing just flipped on that note. And so my word of advice to anybody who buys these straps, first of all, I think this is a great strap to go buy. I think it's a value strap. I don't think it's by any means cheap. They're putting a lot of quality materials into the design, construction, and manufacturing, promotion, all that together. So it's a quality value, and it is definitely worth it. Just put your time into breaking it in, and you'll be just fine. The wearability of these straps after the break-in time was awesome. I didn't notice any of those issues that I had before, and it just evaporated as far as my concerns with these straps go. The strap that I haven't talked about yet, which is the NATO strap, and this is the one that when I first looked at the website and looked at the color choices and things like that, when it came down to the NATO strap, I chose one. And I'll tell you what, this is my favorite NATO strap of all time. The color, the quality of the materials, it's a seatbelt type nylon strap, so it's very sturdy. The stitching on here is great. I've seen some stitching on some NATO straps that is questionable, and it's like, you know, under certain circumstances, I'm not sure that those keepers are going to stay in place. And but I think this is something that is very, very well built, definitely worth the money. And I love the color scheme on it, and you'll see it on my Steel Dive. The colors that you have to choose from are great. The one ding, I think, it's minor, and that is that a NATO strap having high polished keepers just doesn't seem to go with generally the kind of watch that you're going to put onto a NATO strap. Generally, those are going to be your sport watches or dive watches. Generally, they're going to be brushed stainless steel. So I don't know about putting polished keepers on there as far as matching it up with the case and that as far as the overall match. Minor thing. But it's great, and they fit great. There's not an excess of NATO strap to have to tuck back in, which I really like. There are some that I have that is just like, oh my goodness, I've got like 3/4 to an inch of strap that I've got to tuck back into the NATO strap keeper. So that has all been great. I love the NATO strap, and you'll see in this video that I came across a situation that, you know, I have the hiking piece that I showed you, and that was my intent all along. But I came across this work situation that was just out of the blue. And so I'll pause and you can take a look at this. I was working today and looked down at this hose and noticed that this hose is being hit by that metal plate right there. And Artem to the rescue. The strap pulled this hose out of the way. Not what I had originally planned. It was an idea I had for a different part of this video, which would have been for camping, but it actually happened where I needed to use this today to get that hose out of there and get this thing fixed next week. So another use for a NATO strap is to retain, hold, keep together stuff. What's the final verdict? I'll tell you what, this is about as close to 10 out of 10 as you're going to get when it comes to sailcloth straps and nylon NATO straps. I would say that it's right around that 9.8, 9.9. And the reason I say that is just the sizes. I just hope that they have the availability for a lot more sizes across the board when it comes down to the sailcloth straps. And high polished buckle on a few of these would be great. The PVD, they also have PVD, black PVD. So for those of you that want to have kind of a blackout situation on your strap, you can certainly go for that. But I think also, I'm just kind of curious as to why on some of the straps they're labeled with a 20 and the others they're not. And that's just an organizational issue or organizational preference, I guess. It's not an issue to know what size strap you're dealing with. This has been another Real Ideal Gear review. Go out and check out Artem straps. I highly recommend these straps. If you haven't ever had a sail strap before, highly recommend this. I think you're going to love it. I am going to definitely keep these straps on at least 2 of these 3 watches because it's just flat out cool, durable. I love the waterproof level, the look, the whole thing. So that's it. My name is Tim. This is another Real Ideal Gear review, and we'll catch you next time.